So today we're going to be breaking down UFC 316 in these 6 different categories. We have got my most anticipated fight, an underrated banger, a fight with a guaranteed finish, a fight that will go the distance, my lock of the card, and finally my underdog pick of the card. I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to UFC 316. Finally, a card worth talking about from the UFC. The whole month of June is stacked. This is a good way to kick off the month of June. I know a lot of people are kind of shitting on the rematch between Sean O'Malley and Morab, but I'm actually looking forward to it. Now that the fight is actually here, I know when it was announced, I made countless videos slating it, saying the UFC don't know how to matchmake. But now that the fight is right here, we're a couple of days removed, I am really looking forward to seeing this matchup, and the card as a whole is really stacked. You've got some big names on it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the debut of Patchy Mix, but let's get right into my most anticipated fight on the card. Look, it is Sean O'Malley versus Morab 2. I actually am really looking forward to this matchup. Sean O'Malley, the way he's conducted himself for the build-up to this rematch has made me a fan of him. Like, I always like watching Sean O'Malley fight. I always thought he had a very fun fight style, but I just couldn't get behind the personality of Sean O'Malley, and the fact I felt like the UFC were just constantly forcing him down our throats. I just couldn't get on board with the Sean O'Malley hype train. I always thought he was exciting to watch. I always liked watching his fights, but personality wise, it just wasn't someone that I could actually back. But now that he's dropped that character, which I'm glad he did, because it wasn't working, in my opinion. Like, it just didn't come across like that was actually who Sean O'Malley was, and it just made for some awkward interactions on the mic with him. I never thought he was good on the mic when he was trying to play that character, but this time around, I actually feel like he's kind of going for the McGregor Diaz 2 approach. No, hear me out. Just how dialed in he is. Sean O'Malley, this new dialed in version of Sean O'Malley has actually made me a fan. Like, this side of Sean O'Malley, the personality side of him, the way he's conducted himself in the build-up, has made me a fan of him even more, and has made me really excited for this matchup. I cannot wait to see it. Like I said, Sean O'Malley is always fun to watch. Morab is coming off a really exciting fight against Umar Nurmagomedov, and this might just be me, but I feel like this is a really high stakes matchup. Like, if Sean O'Malley doesn't beat Morab in this rematch, where does Sean O'Malley go? Like, what is next for Sean O'Malley? It feels like this is all or nothing for him, to be honest. And I'm looking forward to it. The fact that Sean O'Malley gave Morab his toughest fight, and before people in the comments say, did you not watch Umar? No, I did watch the Umar matchup. It was scored 3-2 like O'Malley. The difference is O'Malley actually hurt Morab in their matchup. Umar didn't do anything of the sort. So Sean O'Malley versus Morab is always going to be interesting, I think, because Sean O'Malley in the bantamweight division has that one-shot knockout power, and that there, it just keeps you engaged throughout the entire. Like, all it takes O'Malley is one shot to land, and I think he's going to get it done this weekend. I think he is going to knock out Morab. I think mentally, Sean O'Malley is going to have an edge over Morab. Like, you've seen Morab even in recent clips now saying like, I'm not that motivated this time. Sean O'Malley, he isn't being disrespectful to me, so I'm not that motivated. And he's saying shit like, Sean O'Malley's going to stuff all my takedowns this time. I'm going to strike with Sean O'Malley. It's just, I think everything here is aligning for Sean O'Malley. I'm really looking forward to it. I think he is going to stop Morab. I think he stops Morab inside 2 rounds. I can't wait for this matchup. I'm really looking forward to it. Moving on to an underrated banger. Look, I don't see a lot of people talking about this. We've got Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland on the card. This is a banger matchup, in my opinion. Now, obviously, Vicente Luque has been known to be in wars throughout his career. He's always been a very, very entertaining fighter to watch. Kevin Holland also, on his day, can be in some very, very exciting matchups, especially on the feet. I think the striking exchanges between these guys will be really fun, although Vicente Luque can't take damage like he used to. That is a problem, and I could see a world where Vicente Luque just tries to wrestle with Kevin Holland, but I actually think this is going to be fireworks, this matchup. I think Kevin Holland at welterweight is just good. Let's just be honest. I think Kevin Holland at welterweight is really good. I think he is top 10 material in the UFC's welterweight division. I think Vicente Luque, dangerous counter striker. He does have power. He's got that finishing ability on the ground. He has a big submission threat. Kevin Holland, big puncher, long, rangy. Also very aggressive with submissions off his back, or even just looking for Darce chokes, looking for chokes in general, even off his back, throwing shots like that Jacare Sosa finish that he got. Insane. That, you know, this guy is always looking for the finish in Kevin Holland, and I just think it's a fight that's not getting spoken about enough. I think their styles will gel well. I think we will see a stoppage. I think Vicente Luque will be TKO'd by Kevin Holland in the third round, but I think even in the build up to that, I think it'll be fun. I think we'll see some fun scrambles between them. I think Vicente Luque will look to take this fight to the ground, but I think on the feet, Kevin Holland's going to have a lot of success with those long rangey straight shots. I just think it's going to be a banger. I think both guys are going to get hurt in this matchup. I think Vicente Luque is going to catch Kevin Holland, and like I said, I think Kevin Holland is going to get the TKO victory over Vicente Luque. Although Vicente Luque as an underdog, I think there is value in that, because I definitely think he can beat Kevin Holland. But as of right now, I'm going Kevin Holland TKO. Moving on to a fight with a guaranteed finish. Look, I think it is Joe Pyfer versus Kevin Gastelum. Kevin Gastelum is standing really fruity in that photo, to be honest. Like, you know, Kevin Gastelum, it looks like he's standing there saying, "What did you say about Mexico, Joseph?" You know what I mean? Hands on the hips. Bit of a weird stance there from Kevin. But yeah, I think Joe Pyfer will win this fight, definitely. I think he can win this fight anywhere, whether that be by KO. I know Kevin Gastelum is really hard to finish, but people forget, man, Joe Pyfer hits harder than Ngannou. But Joe Pyfer does have heat in his hands. Kevin Gastelum has been a win, one, lose, one fighter. He's kind of been all over the show recently in his career, to be honest. He's far from the guy that went tooth and nail with Israel Adesanya for the inter middleweight title. I think Joe Pyfer is coming in here with vengeance. I think he's looking, I am vengeance. I think he is looking to knock out and finish Kevin Gastelum. But my prediction is a submission. Kevin Gastelum was taken down and completely out-grappled by Joe Pyfer's teammate in Sean Brady. Now, I'm not saying Joe Pyfer grapples like Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady is a better grappler than him, but Joe Pyfer's grappling is underrated. The fact that he will be bigger, he will be stronger than Kevin Gastelum in there. My prediction is, I think Kevin Gastelum will be arm triangled submitted by Joe Pyfer in the second round. I think Joe Pyfer is either going to TKO, knock out Kevin Gastelum, or submit him, but my prediction is a submission for Joseph Pyfer. Moving on to a fight that will go the distance. Look, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Shock horror, I've picked this. You could have, really, it was going to come down to any women's fight, to be honest. Like that, I want to try and get these stuff right. You know, I want to try and get the finish right, and the fight that goes the distance right, and my lock right, and my underdog pick right. Obviously, like, my most anticipated fight, that's just like personal preference. But these other categories, I actually want to dial in and get them right to show that I am not only the best matchmaker, but the best predictor. But yeah, back onto this fight right here. Juliana Pena, Kayla Harrison. Look, I think Kayla Harrison can finish Juliana Pena. She has been submitted before. She last got submitted, can't remember what UFC event it was, but I know it was in 2020. She got guillotined. I think Kayla Harrison will be dangerous early on with Juliana Pena. I think she will beat Juliana Pena up. I think there will be spots where she is close to getting the finish, but I think Juliana Pena, she is tough and durable. I mean, Amanda Nunes couldn't finish her. I think Juliana Pena will be able to ride out those early danger moments from Kayla Harrison, aka Mr. Olympia. And I think because Kayla Harrison makes such a big weight cut, and I think she will be so actively looking for the finish, I think she will burn out in the later stages. Now, Juliana Pena just throws strikes like this. So she does, you know, there's no coordination or anything there. I don't actually think she has a striking coach. And she doesn't have any punch power either. So I think Juliana Pena will use her plot armor later on in the fight. And yeah, I just see it going the distance. I don't think Juliana Pena is going to submit or finish Kayla Harrison. And I think Kayla Harrison can submit Juliana Pena, but I don't think she will. I think this fight, unfortunately, is going to go all 5 rounds. Moving on to my lock of the card, it's Asmat Murzanov versus Brenton Riberiro. Look, I think Asmat Murzanov is good. I know he looks like a bag of milk here. I know that he is coming off a PED suspension, so maybe he might not be as, carry the power that he normally carries. Maybe he might not look as good as what he normally does. But Asmat Murzanov is just levels above Riberiro, in my opinion. I know it was meant to be Johnny Walker in here, so Asmat Murzanov has had this date in mind for a while. it just boils down to he's so much better. He just is. He's going to knock him out. This could have been my fight with a guaranteed finish. It probably should have been this, to be honest. But yeah, no, Asmat Murzanov, he is my lock of the card. He is definitely going to get the job done here. My only worry is, how different is he going to look off PEDs, if you know what I mean? Like, obviously he's had a lot of fights he hasn't tested positive for, and it was just recently, I think, that he did test positive. So has he been bluffing us his whole career, and he might actually look ass now that he's not on the juice? But he's just better everywhere, so he's my lock of the card. And finally, underdog pick, I am going Waldo Cortez Acosta. Look, I am done doubting this guy. Sergey Spivvac has moments, like the way he was able to just submit Derek Lewis with ease. He did have moments against Almeida, but Sergey Spivvac, great fighter. Sergey Spivvac, though, to me, I hate using the word quitter, because I'm just sat here in a chair talking about these guys fighting. They're actually in there fighting, putting their health on the line. But if it all doesn't go his way, he does break. Now, Cortez Acosta can be taken down. We've seen him be out-grappled throughout his career, but he does have good get-ups. He will have the advantage on the feet. I think Cortez Acosta has really good hands for the heavyweight division. He's a good boxer, in my opinion. He's got the momentum as well. I think Cortez Acosta is going to beat Sergey Spivvac. I really do. I think he is going to beat him. I can actually see him stopping Sergey Spivvac, but my prediction, Spivvac should win this. He should submit Waldo Cortez Acosta, but I don't know. I just think momentum. I think the fact that there is that Spivvac isn't good at being the nail. I think Cortez Acosta is a really good underdog pick here, in my opinion. So yeah, that is UFC 316 broken down in those categories. Let me know what you would pick for those categories in the comments below. I will be doing a live watch along for UFC 316, so make sure you do tune in for that. I will be performing Sean O'Malley's walkout song as well live. If you are what you say you are, a golden star. I will be performing that as Sean O'Malley makes his way to the cage, so make sure you are there. But yeah, thanks for all the support. If you want to see my actual predictions for every single fight on the card, that was yesterday's video, so make sure you go and watch that. Thanks again for the support. See you again in the next one. Adios.